Hello fellow crafters, it's Vicki and your art from Snap and Scrap with Vicki. Thank you for joining me on my YouTube channel. So today I'm going to be sharing with you most of my Christmas cards that I have been making since July actually. So my first cards that I have posted these in the past I'm going to be showing you are made from the Beautiful Blues card kit. This is a card kit that is currently in the catalog. It's basically for sympathy and support. It is on page 11, and I have replicated these cards purely from the inspiration of Julie Carrier from Canada, who is another Stampin' Up representative and part of the CDT. So I thought I would share these with you. They are absolutely beautiful. The Beautiful Blues is stunning. The colors are rich. I have paired this with the Winterly Treetops, that little lovely bird right there, and watercolored it. And then there is a die that will cut that out. Okay, and then there is the silver foil paper, and that is embossed with the pressed flowers. Oh, the glare, I'm so sorry for the glare. The pressed flowers embossing folder. So this is the first card. And then there is some sparkly paper here too. I believe that's Night of Navy from Stampin' Up. And here we go. This is, again, these were leftovers of the cards after I had created the kit. So I just thought her samples were stunning, and I couldn't wait to make them for myself. So these are very special, and a lot of layering and a lot of pieces. So obviously they're going to go to probably my family members, somebody special. So now I ran out of the actual base that had the florals from the card kit. So what I did was I made my own, and I used the Magnolia mood and stamped a background paper and then cut it up and used it on the next few cards. So again, this textured embossing folder is beautiful. It just gives enough, just enough to, without overpowering the whole tag. And then I can't even remember where I got all the sayings. I have a couple of different Christmas stamps, so I didn't actually pull all of those out too. All right, again, these blues were just so stunning. I think blues and greens are sort of my favorite colors. I tend to go to those a lot, all in the different shades. And then I also did some splattering too with the inks. Okay, all right, so that is the Beautiful Blues card kit. Oh, and then I embellished them with the rhinestone basic jewels. And the ribbon that I used was the silver and white ribbon. All right, so now I'm going to move on to the Road of Christmas card kit. So unfortunately, this card kit has been sold out 2 times now. So unfortunately, I think by the time it comes back in, it's going to be after Christmas. So there still could be a possibility of getting it and using it for next Christmas. So I basically did this exactly how they did it in the card kit, except that I put a piece of cherry cobbler behind this 3x4 card just to give it a little pop, and then added some embellishments, and those are the muted palette dots. Okay, so these are all basically the same. The card kit gives you a lot of, I think it gives you 9 cards. So I had actually gotten 2 card kits, one to do the actual cards with, and then another one to do a layout, which I'm finalizing my YouTube video on that. And this is what I made from the leftovers. Now on this one here, I did add this extra Christmas tree in here that they didn't have, just to, you know, utilize it. I hate for one little piece of ephemera to be left, so I went ahead and utilized it. And these embellishments are the neutral matte dots. And again, the same thing here. And then the last 2 are what was left over from when I did my layouts. So I based my layouts on great inspiration from Kelly Fitzpatrick Gerald, and she did this outline on the layout, so I decided to duplicate or replicate that on a card and added a little bit of black in the back. Obviously, I didn't have any extra presents or trees. I did have the extra dogs, so the dog got to make the appearance for the truck. And those were the only 2 cards I had left, and then used everything else for the actual layouts. All right, so next up is the Calm and Bright card kit. This was stunning. These are not your average cards. I should say your average colors of cards. Typically, everybody thinks of the reds and greens. These are a very muted palette, beautiful. I think this is Pretty in Pink, and this is Lost Lagoon in here. So I did these cards exactly how they had them because I thought they were stunning just the way they are. There is a little bit of stamping in the kit. You stamp all the sayings and you do a little background stamping. But here, and you get 3 of each style. And then these Christmas trees are all layered up, and again, a little bit of background stamping in there. All of this is in the kit, and again, unfortunately, this kit has been sold out, and I'm not even sure if it's coming back. So I guess this is just a warning for next year. If you see a card kit that you really like, get it when you see it, because some of these seem to sell out pretty fast. Okay, and again, just beautiful, beautiful, light and airy. Okay. Okay, so next up is the Cozy Christmas Paper Pumpkin Kit. So again, this was a great kit. This is a special subscription that you can do month to month, or you can do 3-month subscription, 6-month subscription, and a 12-month subscription. And right now it is on special. I believe it's about 30% off, and it goes through December 9th. So if you are interested in obtaining a subscription like this, now is the time to do it. If you want to just try it out, you could do a simple 3-month subscription. The discounts do not count on the 1 month at this time. So it would either have to be the 3, the 6, or the 12. And just so you know, even if you get it, they give you snippets of each month of what it's going to look like. So they're kind of a surprise of what you're getting. But honestly, every one of them that I've received, if you didn't like exactly how they do it, you can make alternates that are amazing with them. So definitely worth it and worth the discount that they're offering at this point. All right, so again, let's get back to the cards. This is the Cozy Christmas Paper Pumpkin Kit. These 3 are the way the cards were designed. So I went ahead and did 1 of each. I am teaching a class actually tomorrow on this. So that's why I did them the way they had created them. And this is what they'll be doing in class. Okay, and then I have a little short out there on all the different alternatives that I did. So these are my alternatives that I did with that Paper Pumpkin Kit. So I added a little bit of cardstock, used a lot of different dies. And this one just has and added the gold foil paper. And these dies, this die was part of the Abundant Joy dies. So this is a die set that's good for 3 months with the Paper Pumpkin Kit that you can do as an add-on. You must be a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, in order to purchase this. And when you get these dies, it's typically good for 3 different months. So this one right now is October, November, and December. And then starting in January, we will have a new option to purchase the die set that will go with the next 3 months. So you'll notice I've used quite a few of these little dies on these alternatives. Okay, and then here we have. So this is the Postage Perennial dies. I use those, and then on here, this was the Stylish Shape dies that I cut these squares out and then just triangled them like a diamond. So Postage Perennial. And then some of these things that I have here comes from the Greetings for You, the Greetings for You Mix and Match Ephemera. Okay, and here, this is a simple little fold out one. Like I said, I have a quick short on all of these, so I'll go through these pretty fast. But you know, I made the tree a little smaller and just added some. And if you look at this, you can see that these are felt or velvet, whatever you want to call them. They're furry. So really, really beautiful, and gives a different level or layer of texture. Okay, so here again, the perennial dies, and these were the corners of the leftover of the other card that I had cut with stylus shapes. And then I cut all of these little guys apart and put them on there. And all of the ones that are stamped are all the sayings that came with the actual kit. And then this is the actual tag die in this kit right here that I did. And then the joy also came from that die, the add-on die. Okay, oh, and I totally forgot this. This came from branching out dies. And again, here we do the branching out dies, the abundant dies, and the abundant dies, and the branching out dies. Okay, so all the red sequins came with the card kit. I added some of the gold ones, which are one of my favorite ones, which are the flower accent embellishments. These little guys, they are stunning. They look good on almost anything that has gold on them, so definitely worth having in your stash. All right, so let's move on. Okay, so next up I have my inside outside spotlight cards. Now these, you can find a YouTube video that I taught how to make this. I was involved with a collaboration called the Handmade Holiday Hop, and that was back in the month of October. So just going to show these real quick. Like I said, I do have a separate YouTube showing all of these, but here's the outside, inside, and then that. So it's a trifold. And as you can see, you use two of them and they line up. So that's what makes it the inside outside. And I used mostly on all of this was the Christmas Tags and More 6x6 ephemera, 6x6 paper, DSP, and it comes with a lot of different ephemera, which are all these little pieces here that I was able to add on. And then of course, this is the Greetings for You mix and match ephemera. So again, one I made ahead of time, and then one was made in class. And then I added an extra little frame in the background here. Okay, and then this one I did with the stamping of the inside outside. So again, you stamp, and then inside is the actual full view of the actual stamp set. So really pretty. Fairly simple technique, but adds a lot of punch, I think, to a card. Okay. And then with the leftovers of all the die cutting, I went ahead and just made some extra cards. So, because didn't want to waste anything. So again, this is just some leftovers of the die cutting. And then again, use the ephemera, both for the Greetings for You and that, and put a cute little present inside. And then this one, I just elevated it with some glitter paper, and that is the inside of this that I cut out. So again, didn't want to waste all that beautiful coloring and stamping and inking, so went ahead and made a card for that. Okay, so next up I have, this was another class that I did, and this was called the triple display easel card. So again, I have two of this one because one I had made in advance, and then the other one is, like I said, is on a YouTube that will show you how to actually use it. And then this, oops, sorry, stands up. So there you have it. I feel like maybe I need to go a little further away so you guys can see a little bit more. There we go. And again, this is the same card. And then I went with a little more glam and thought, you know, this would be beautiful as a Happy New Year's card. And total glam on the inside. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? And then I'm going to plan on writing in a gold lame pen or glitter pen. And then some more of the ephemera and cut up some of the cards and embossing folders. There we go. And then Peace on Earth. I don't know if you can see that, the die. This is such a beautiful die. And you could put a greeting in there too. I did the opposite direction so that this would basically sit right in the area of the die. So beautiful, beautiful. And then another white on white with this embossing folder, and then the ephemera. And then these were like in my stash, these tiny little red adhesives. All right. Okay. So again, I did do process videos on both of those. If you would want to watch them, you can check it out on my channel. All right, hold on one second. I got next up. All right, so next up I had made an album with the Joyful Days, Memories, and More cards. They're 3x4 and 4x6. So I had a few of them left over. So after I watched Jima Momi's her Christmas card display, I'm like, you know what? I need to pull those last ones out and do something with them. So these first couple of ones definitely came from her idea of the beautiful, she did the whole embossing folder. I left a little bit of white space and then backed it with red. And again, used these wonderful Greetings for You Mix and Match ephemera. So this was my second pack of these that I used. So this is the Mossy Meadow with the Christmas tree. Again, Mossy Meadow. And then this is Secret Sea. And these are just simple and quick, but, you know, again, punch a pack with, because of the embossing, and just gives it some elevation. And then the last couple of ones, here we go. So this is one of the 4x6s that I cut down with the Christmas trees and the beautiful bow. And I forget what set that's from. I think it's from, is it from Branching Out? Nope. It is from Traditional Labels, I believe. No, again, wrong. It is from the Pattern Dies tags, the little bow right here. This is a great little bow. It's just so delicate and dainty. And it's a double bow, which is what I really love about it. Okay. And then last but not least, this is kind of a sneak peek of, I don't even know if you can see it. I gotta stop moving so much. Of a new embossing folder that's coming out. And it is called Beautiful Pattern. So, sort of like a stitch look that's in diamond shapes. All right, so there we have those. And last but not least, this is the last set of these. So most of these all come from the Christmas Tags and More 6x6. And then, of course, the Greetings for You Mix and Match ephemera. And then I used a couple of other little things like the Branching Out dies are in there. And Spotlight on Nature dies and Traditional Labels. So, yep. So here we go. So, Jima also had a card like this, which also I think Erin Jacobson also has a card like this. And I thought, wow, that's super clever. And just added a couple little stickles to a few of them, not all of them. I don't even know if you can see it. It's like not focusing. There we go. Okay. All right, and I tried to make, once I came up with the design or the canvassing of, I went ahead and made 2 of each. And these backgrounds are from, let me get those for you. The Christmas Greetings Mix and Match. So these are cardstock card bases that you can order separately. I believe they match one of the ephemera packs. I think the paper pack. As you can see, these colors match pretty good. But anyway, so what I did, these are a little bit bigger. This is 4 1/4 by, I think, 6 or 6 1/2. Let me see. Six and a quarter. So 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. So I just cut them in half and then put them on white just to, you know, extend the use of them. And I still have all of these to be able to use now. All right. So, and the glitter sequins are the traditional sparkling sequins are what I used on a lot of these. Okay. Again, second card, just like the first one. These are, there was a sheet of the 6x6 that's cut apart. So again, made some tags with them. Now, these little guys here. So the Nutcracker kit, that sold out right away. That's not coming back till I think January. But in every box, there was a page that had additional of the long tags here, the beard, the hat, and one of them had a shoe. So I had taught a class recently at a retreat, so I had pulled out the extra sheet of all of them, and I said, well, you know, they have all this nice gold glitter on here, and the colors blend beautifully with this DSP. I'm going to go ahead and incorporate that onto my cards. So that is what I have done here. So this actually came from the Nutcracker card. Well, it was a tag kit. And again, the traditional sparkling sequins. So here again, I added this tag from the Nutcracker in the background and thought, you know what, so they came with, like I said, the hats, the shoes, the beards, but not an extra Nutcracker. It was kind of random that it was an extra sheet. But I thought the hats actually kind of look cute, and who cares? It just adds like a Nutcracker hat that can add to the card. So I didn't use them all because not all of them fit, but this says from our house to yours. And again, the Nutcracker tag, and then this is the DSP paper from the Christmas Tags and More, the ephemera, and I use the, Spotlight on Nature dies. The Spotlight on Nature dies to add behind here. And this is the real red. The Cherry Cobbler was just a little too dark. Didn't coordinate well with this kit, so I ended up using the real red. And then the red stickles. And I only had one left of that wreath because I had used it on another card. So on this one, I used the big ornament and the extra leaves here in this one. And then I backed this just so it would stand out a little bit. All right. So these all are pretty simple, but again, I wanted to try to use my stash up and show off, you know, how you can use these tags from the Nutcracker in a whole different way. This was an interesting color here. But it did pair well with the red and the crumb cake. So I went ahead and, as you can see, I put that little hat there. That was from the girl. She was really cute. And then from Branching Out. And these little guys, I don't know if you remember these were the Cherry Cobbler and Pearls. So these came from last year. And I literally used all the red and all we had was these clear ones, and I still have a few of them, even though I tried to utilize it. So don't forget what's in your stash, because the clear ones actually look great and didn't overpower all the different colors in the card. So again, second one of that. And then this, I think this is the green apple. What's that? What's the actual color? Green. Yes. Granny Green Apple. So again, there really wasn't much in the DSP, but when I turned the one on the other side, look at this green Granny Green Apple matched the tag perfectly. And then I just cut out some of the leaves and then the branching out die. And then these green sequins actually go well with that Granny Green Apple. So there we go. And I think I had like 4 of these. So I didn't have enough, as you can see here. So I'll just put all 4 of these out. As you can see here, they're a little different. I had 2 of these left in the ephemera pack, but I only had 1 of these. And then what I did was I cut a piece of real red and embossed it in the embossing folder. I don't know why my phone is not focusing, but it's not focusing very well. So sorry. Okay, so again, I made 4 the same because trying to use those tags up from that Nutcracker and want to be able to utilize my stash. And then last but not least, there was this tag. And that color is the Summer Splash. Well, there really wasn't anything in the DSP. So the light crumb cake looked great with it. And I added Pretty in Pink. And then that was her little hat right there. And I made the bow in the Summer Splash, and I inked with a blending brush on the outside of the same so it would show up a little bit against the white die here that I cut from Spotlight Natures. And then these little guys are from Crumb Cake. All right, so not traditional colors, but the pink is very popular this year. So I thought, well, you know what? Let's go with the pink because it coordinated with the Summer Splash really nicely. Okay, so I think that's it. Thank you for joining me. I hope you enjoyed all the different styles and cards. And if I don't see you or talk to you soon, have a very, very Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. Take care, everybody.